ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ ló yó tán tó dakùn délẹ̀ adífá fún gbẹrẹgẹdẹ tí ń ṣọmọ yèyé ojúmọ́. Today we move on from Ikinfa to ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀. Ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ is a technological advancement of Ikinfa. I am going to be saying that in a bit. Remember that while using Ikin, two knots mean one stroke and one knot means two strokes. It is the same rule in ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ but the pattern is different. Ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ is the name of a particular tree and these are its seeds. We can use brass Ide to make this ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ actually, but that one is mostly used by Osun devotees alongside Erindilogun, but that is a story for another day. So the ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ seeds are split into halves so that we can have Inu and Ẹ̀yìn, and these halves are attached to both sides of the chain. Mẹ́rin lápá ọ̀tún, mẹ́rin lápá òsì, giving us 8 in total. But each and every one of these ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ has two possibilities, Inu àti Ẹ̀yìn, just like the head and the tail of a coin, thereby making it all 16 indirectly. Now when you cast the ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀, àwọn kan á dojú délẹ̀, àwọn kan á ṣíjú sókè. There are 256 possibilities we can derive from this system. 16 times 16, ọ̀tàlélẹ́gbẹ̀ta ó dín ní mẹ́rin. These 256 possibilities are what we call Odu, and each and every one of them has their poetic narratives. A babalawo must have all of these narratives in his head before he can qualify as a babalawo. And not just that, he must also be able to decrypt all of the verses because they are very cryptic in nature. They all need decoding. In fact, that is why they are called Odu. An authentic Ifa priest must be able to decode them and must also be able to relate them to whatever situation has been presented to him by his client. Ìyẹn ni wọ́n ń pè ní gbígbọ́ Ifá. This is why the process of becoming a babalawo takes a lot of years, even decades. Now, this is the science of the ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀. Before the babalawo casts it, he must first shake it to randomize the outcomes. As you can see, some are facing downwards and some are facing upwards. Èyí tó bá ṣíjú sókè bí àwọn wọ̀nyí, àmì kan la máa tẹ̀ sínú ìyẹ̀rẹ̀ osùn. Èyí tó bá sì dojú délẹ̀, àmì méjì ló túmọ̀ sí. So now let us transfer what this ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ is saying into the ọ̀pọ̀ Ifá. This one becomes this, and this one is this. This one again is this, and this becomes this. We go on like that with this. Then this, because it is facing downwards, we put two strokes. The same thing for this, and then this. This kind of Odu is what we call Amulu Odu. It would have been Odu Odu if what we have on the right is exactly the same thing we have on the left. This particular Odu is what we call Irosun, and this one is Ogunda. So the babalawo calls the two together, he recites the verses of each of them and then relates them to the situation on ground. Now if we had used Ikinfa, we would have had to do this 8 times or even more, because there will be some that will be null and void. But with the ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ we have done once what would have taken us 8 times or 9 or even 20 times to do. Look at that rapid speed of updates in technology. If we had gone on like that uninterrupted, we would have had our own computer, because computer programming is based on exactly what we have embedded in here. But unfortunately, centuries of slavery slowed us down and colonialism made matters even worse. Present this to anybody who understands binary and computer science and they will point out the similarities to you. Which is why I keep telling people that Ifa is not a religion. Ifa is a lot of things in one. Ifa is a compendium of knowledge. Ifa is science, Ifa is mathematics, Ifa is logic, Ifa is philosophy. Ifa is a lot of things. Orunmila knew so many things about this universe and he came up with this binary system to store and preserve that knowledge. That man was a genius. He didn't just preserve that knowledge. He used each and every one of the Odu to index and catalog them for easy reference, because the knowledge is so large, so broad that they need to be indexed and cataloged for easy referencing. It will be a great insult and disservice to him to just mystify all that he did by calling it entirely religion. Ifa is not religion, though we can find religion in Ifa. To entirely dismiss it as religion is to downplay the scientific aspect of it. And if you take science from Ifa, then Ifa is no longer Ifa. What we find in Ifa are in fact the principles of the universe. But what confuses a lot of people is the use of the word Awo. And in this series, we shall be settling what that means once and for all. Fasten your seatbelt. Washiri.